a.m. and the workshop concludes at 1 p.m. on Thursday, May 15th at Victory Park in Pasadena, 2575 Paloma Street. This is a community call to action from the California Black Chamber of Commerce and KBLA Talk 1580.
Hey Zoe, I'm calling your show, 'cause I need to know. Show me which way to go before I throw my man out the door.
Okay, hold on a second, Keisha. Just let me ask Ronald exactly what's going on, because it takes two to tango, and I need to hear his side of the story.
So she's driving me insane, got stress heavy on my brain. She keeps playing silly games, man, I'm about to bring the pain. We seem to fuss and fight every day and every night. Please give some advice so we can see the light, see the light.
Are you telling me that because y'all are one, you take the responsibility of even his mistakes?
What I'm saying is that God knew when he joined us together that this was going to be a mirror, a reflection between us. I thought I was cool. I thought I was a great person by myself. There are some things in me that I would have never known about me until I was joined to him. There's some things in him that would have never come to the forefront had he not married me. Sometimes God has to bring you together as one, and then those things really will amplify. I'm not taking responsibility, but I am walking it out with him. It's my choice.
Do you understand what she is saying right now? My God, today.
My.
Do you understand that God will create you with the grace that your spouse needs?
Oh, yeah.
And sometimes you look at other people and say, you know what, I could never go, and you never will.
You're right, and you couldn't.
And you never will, but you are graced for that very thing that your spouse needs. You know, you can take these certain aspirin or whatever that have a time capsule release.
Yes.
And it dispenses a certain amount of medicine over the 12-hour period or whatnot. It's a time capsule release. I look at marriages like that. You don't know what that spouse is going to need in year 2, year 5, year 8. You'll look back at that marriage and go, I never knew that you knew XYZ. Oh, yeah, I studied that when I was in middle school. We went on this field trip and I learned XYZ. You're like, how in the world did you know this stuff? Because God, in his omniscience, creates a time capsule release that spouse is able to release exactly what you need at the appointed time.
Praise break. Come on, y'all. Praise break.
That's right.
My God.
Amen. I think the biggest obstacle was trying to correct what people believed, because, you know, headlines or clickbait lead you into thinking X, Y, and Z. And we have said it so many times and no one cares. There wasn't a physical action, but the verbiage or the talking or the emotional connections and talking to people was enough. to make people believe that something actually happened. Now, I can't say that I might have sat still if there was an actual physical whatever.
Oh, so finally the word is making its way into the churches. I got it from Krishnamurti, Relationship as a Mirror. My first book on relationships, 2015, The Relationship Dismount. How to Stick the Landing when exiting a toxic relationship. That was 10 years ago. The word is getting out there. Did you hear the pastor? You hear pastor indirectly mention fine-tuning? Says sometimes God sends you this person to reflect this back to you for a particular lesson to be illuminated in you. Y'all remember that? Huh? We go back to the 12 or 15 or so universal constants that Einstein tirelessly worked on, basically telling us that the universe is fine-tuned to such a degree, to such a minute, microscopic, subatomic degree, that somebody had to tune each one of those universal constants to be absolutely perfect in order for life to exist. Sounds fine-tuned to me, right? I wrote in 2019 in my not the Shrouded Lighthouse, in my holographic relationship book, that your relationship is fine-tuned, right? Yes, it's a holographic mirror reflection of some generational curses that need to be addressed by you or passed on to your kids to be addressed. I said it's not a generational curse, it's a generational curriculum that needs to be graduated from. And yet, people look at me like, who is he to be talking? Ordained by something greater than both of us. How do I know? Because I'm here. Living my purpose. Doing what I'm supposed to be doing. And you can have whatever judgment of me. Just because I'm ordained to speak a particular word doesn't mean I'm somehow better or more healed. I'm still problematic. But there's a word that comes through me. And while people don't want to acknowledge where it's coming from, as I do with the many people I cite and play on this show, they don't mind taking a little piece and regurgitating it and saying what I said without acknowledging who said it. And I don't need the credit. But one thing I'm going to do, sitting in this seat, at KBLA Talk 1580, is keep my foot on your spiritual necks. Why? Because we play games with relationships. I've played games with relationships, right? And discovered something about myself in the process. This is why tonight's topic is exceedingly important, because there are some things we need to unlearn in order to grow, in order to expand, in order to reach a spiritual purpose. Let me tell you something about purpose. Playing basketball is a type of purpose. Playing football is a type of purpose. Being an interior decorator and designer is a type of purpose. Being a lawyer is a type of purpose. And see, we let the secular world, the social world, tell us that that is where our purpose is. Nah, there's a spiritual purpose too. I just mentioned it. That generational curriculum that you don't want to address, that you don't want to free yourself from, that's your purpose, part of your purpose for being here, right? That leads us to tonight's topic. The Messiah, Hamashiach, right? The Messiah of relationship. God won't give you more than you can bear, but your internal wounds might if you let them. Let me do that one more time. Do you hear that? The Messiah of relationships. God won't let you, or God won't give you more than you can bear, but your wounds might if you let them. Hold your own cross. I can walk with you, but I can't hang for you. I can't be crucified in your stead. An intriguing look at the truth behind bearing your significant other's burdens. Is that your job as their significant other, is to bear the burden for them? Y'all remember Big Mama had that picture up in her house. That poem called Footsteps, right? And there's two sets of footsteps, and you going through something, and then one set disappears, and the poem ends by saying, that's when I recognized that when there was only one set of footsteps, I thought you abandoned me. But no, I was carried by you. Now that poem, right? That poem is about God carrying you through your tarry, through your struggle, through the obstacles that the world is going to throw at you. Come on now. That's what that poem is about. You cannot superimpose your significant other into that position, the Jesus position. When I'm down, carry me. No, I can accompany you when you're down. But it's not my job to carry you. You see, I can accompany you. I am your companion in your sojourn. But I am not responsible to carry the cross that source laid on your shoulder for the unraveling and the unfolding of the truth that has always been within you. I'm just here with you, and I'm going to cheer you on. When I see you get weary, I'm going to cheer you on. I'm going to encourage you. I'm going to say, take a break. Here's some water. Huh? Here's some water. You hungry? You need an ear to listen. Are we resonating, or am I validating your ego? The walk is with you and Jesus, not you and your partner. Listen, yeah, we could walk through life. We could walk through family. We integrate God into that, sure. But there are certain things within your being that I can't touch, that I can't understand experientially. I can only understand by the acumen of the execution of your ability to be able to articulate it. Let's rip the bandage off. Love is not a hospice for brokenness. Your partner isn't your Messiah, therapist, or karmic janitor. They're a mirror forced by God to reflect the parts you'd rather bury. Modern romance is a minefield of toxic empathy. Where we mistake enmeshment for intimacy and trauma bonds for soulmates. The brutal truth is, you're not called to bear your significant other's cross. You're called to watch them bleed on theirs while refusing to play nurse. I'm not here to... It's not my job. Because everything that I'm asking, everything that God is asking of you, you are capable of. This is why I love Raquel Hopkins' work so much. Everybody lacks emotional capacity. Everybody's tired. Oh, I'm through. I'm done. I just don't have the strength to deal with it. That's because you never built the muscle. Huh? That's why I love her work. Somebody else got to be your cross bearer. No. That's not what I'm here to do. I'm a coach. I'm a cheerleader. I'm a motivational speaker in your life. When you get down, I'm going to listen without judgment. It's a safe space for you to share, but it's not my job to step in when you can't face yourself. Listen, I can't face you for you. 1-800-920-1580. Get to your phone line. I want to know. I want to know if that's how you view your partner. Do you agree or disagree? Do you think Zoe is totally off? You're called to watch them bleed on theirs while refusing to play nurse. Your wounds are sacred. Listen. Your wounds, CPTSD, attachment wounds, abuse, neglect wounds, worthiness wounds, all these wounds. Your wounds are sacred solitudes. And the act of outsourcing their healing is tantamount to spiritual fraud. Huh? It's like claiming your sister's dependence so you can get a tax break. I know you're not ready for this kind of work tonight, but I am. The Bible says, bear one another's burdens, not become their prosthetic soul. Huh? True love does not demand unreasonable boundaries. Resonance isn't nodding at their excuses. It's letting their unvarnished truth detonate your denial. I'm not here for that. You got to make this. You got to score that last bucket. You're the leader of you. Don't pass it to me. I'm not the two-guard of your soul. You are. Codependency isn't loyalty. It's cowardice dressed up as compassion. It's cowardice dressed up as compassion. Your dark night of the soul isn't a group project. It's a solo pilgrimage where Jesus, even Jesus, seems to ghost you. If you want radical intimacy, you got to stop romanticizing shared suffering. Let them drown in their Calvary. Let them hate you for it. Let them rise or not. The Messiah complex in relationship isn't love. It's soul malpractice. When we come forward, the voice of reason gonna keep this fire cooking. Let's go.
Reasons. The reasons that we're here, the reasons that we fear, our feelings won't disappear. You're listening to the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580. If you missed our KBLA Talk 1580 Town Hall, the Altadena Eden Fire, 100 Days and Counting, you missed an evening of reverence, reflection, and reality.
You gotta live in the reality because this is it. Every day, you wake up, is this my life? Don't stay in denial because yes, it is. Don't stay in bargaining where you're praying for a miracle and if it wouldn't have happened, then this is what I would have done. It did.
Our panel participants kept it real. Really real.
I think, number one, it's amazing to me how we ignore systemic racism in our community, and as a people, we've apologized for so much, but when will we stop apologizing for what we have paid for? Because the truth of the matter is we paid for this.
You can always count on KBLA Talk 1580 to give it to you straight, no chaser. When you love folk, you tell them the truth. Seeking the truth, speaking the truth. We're KBLA Talk 1580, and we don't black down.
Johns Hopkins University has found that just mild hearing loss doubles your risk of dementia, so hearing loss isn't something to ignore.
But hearing aids are so expensive and ugly.
Not anymore. Meet Audien Hearing. You can get nearly invisible hearing aids without a prescription starting at $98 a pair, and they're ready to use right out of the box. Rated the best hearing aids of 2025 by Forbes Health, and with over 1 million customers, Audien is easy to trust. Visit audienhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
Sometimes I struggle to get to sleep. My body stopped for the day, but my mind is still running. So I take ZQuil.
ZQuil, the world's #1 sleep aid brand, has a range of non-habit-forming products to fit you and your family's needs. Invest in a great night's sleep for the best you tomorrow.
I'm awake and ready to take on anything.
Better days start with ZQuil nights. Explore our products at ZQuil.com. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. If you need help getting your resume in order, finding job training, or landing a job, we've got 3 great options for you. First, the City of Los Angeles has WorkSource centers across the area offering free job support. The California Workforce Development Board can help you with everything from GED prep to vocational training at no cost to you. On the federal level, the Department of Labor's American Job Centers offer a full range of services for job seekers and businesses alike. Visit careeronestop.org, or for more info, just call California's Help Center or visit cwdb.ca.gov or call 916-657-1440. For the City of Los Angeles programs, go to ewdd.lacity.gov or call 213-744-7300. All these services are free to help you get your next job. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
You know you want some more. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
I can't wait to get to school each day and wait for you to pass my way. And bells start to ring and angels start to sing. Hey, that's the girl for you. Ooh, yes. So what are you gonna do? Hey, little girl, I love you so.
Everything that you thought about reality is untrue. But even worse than that, everything that you thought about who you are is also untrue. So when you start to conceptualize these things, you literally go through the dark night of the soul. You lose your identity, because you thought you were like this entity, this skin-encapsulated ego squeezed into the volume of a body and the span of a lifetime. When you realize that is an experience in you, rather than the fact that you are in the universe is in you, and that you is not a person. So that is a trigger to losing your habitual certainties, and those certainties were the anchor of your existence. That can give you the heebie-jeebies, as they say. But if you stay with it, once you jump off the abyss, it's like crossing the event horizon. Once you take the jump.
Listen, Deepak Chopra cooking. But the disease of spiritual lethargy is spreading faster than COVID did. With the rise, the advent of technology, spiritual psychology suffers. This is why we live in a time where love is not real. I don't have the capacity, emotional labor. Come on. If you had to tarry at the pulpit, you had to come down there to the altar and tarry. Huh? If you had to do that, right, in church, right, what is the purpose of tarrying? Huh? Do you see what I'm saying to you? You don't want to tarry in a relationship. You want to live the soft life. Right? Spiritual lethargy. lethargic, tired, but want everything. Want the best of everything. You want love to be as convenient as your iPhone. Huh? Huh? As convenient as the smart car. As convenient as a smart home, right? Your partner's healing journey is not your spiritual assignment. Here's your psychological insight. Projecting savior complexes onto partners creates dysfunctional power dynamics. Ergo, caretaker syndrome, where codependency masquerades as love. Show up the way I need you to. No, you do it. It's your job. You can't even enjoy the truth of me because you haven't accepted the truth of you. You haven't even gotten started on you. Do you see? Metaphysical insight. Souls incarnate with distinct karmic blueprints. Attempting to complete another's journey disrupts the karmic lessons in their personal sovereignty. Existentialist ethics demands radical ownership of one's suffering. Outsourcing inner work violates Kant's imperative of self-legislation. Longitudinal studies show relationships where one partner acts as therapist has 3 times the amount of resentment, according to the Journal of Marital Therapy in 2021. Do you understand? Toxic empathy, when bearing burdens become emotional parasitism. You're a parasite. It's not my job to do your work. I can't individuate for you. When we come forward, the voice of reason, going to the phone lines. People want to talk, and I want to talk to you. Let's get it.
You're fine in every way. Hey, I'm in love with you. Oh, I love you, baby. I think the world of you. Yes, I do. Oh, won't you please be mine?
He's on fire tonight. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams exclusively on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Amber Payton with 4 Things You Should Know with BIN News. Black Maryland Senator Angela Alsobrooke says Americans are tired after 100 days of Trump's second term. She slammed his civil servant attacks, tariffs, benefit cuts, and picks like RFK Jr. as damaging to families. Decatur, Georgia School Board has walked back its decision and reinstated DEI policies after community backlash. The reversal comes after a court blocked the Trump administration's anti-DEI order. Black Washington, D.C. Mayor Muriel Bowser is backing a $1 billion redevelopment plan at RFK Stadium to bring back the Commanders. She says it'll boost the economy and is seeking council votes to pass the deal. And the 688, the only black all-women World War II unit in Europe, received the Congressional Gold Medal Tuesday. The group handled 17 million mail items and inspired a recent Tyler Perry film. Get BIN News on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
2 world champion titles as manager, 4-time National League pennant winner. Join in Saturday, April 26th versus the Pirates and celebrate the LA Skipper. The first 40,000 fans in attendance will receive a Dave Roberts bobblehead presented by Kinoshita. Visit Dodgers.com/promotions.
KBLA Talk 1580 and the California Black Chamber of Commerce invite you to the Small Business Development Workshop, How to Do Business with California Government, on Thursday, May 15th at Victory Park in Pasadena, 2575 Paloma Street. Get certified and register as a new bidder. Sell products and services to the state. Learn about pre-bid events and more. And it's all free. All you have to do is sign up at www.calbcc.org. That's www.calbcc.org. Registration for the Small Business Development Workshop, How to Do Business with California Government, begins at 9 a.m. and the workshop concludes at 1 p.m. on Thursday, Thursday, May 15th at Victory Park in Pasadena, 2575 Paloma Street. This is a community call to action from the California Black Chamber of Commerce and KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 reminds you that we keep us safe. The Live Your Life organization mentors young women, helping them break negative mindsets and see beyond their surroundings. Through career exposure and hands-on training, they're encouraged to think big, stay focused, and make positive choices. Founded by Nikisha Mama Boo Smith, who transformed her life to become a community leader. Live Your Life is changing lives, but they need your help. They're raising funds to keep their new building open and expand their program. Your donations will support food, clothes, hygiene products, and holiday giveaways. Visit liveyourlife32.com. That's LIVEYOLIFE32.com to help today. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Barbecue season is back. Hey, it's Ellen.
And this is Sarah Beth.
And a little thing we love about the Chick-fil-A Smokehouse Barbecue Bacon Sandwich is that zesty barbecue sauce. I love that it was a little sweet, a little tangy, and with the mac and cheese,
I feel like I tasted the brown sugar bacon first. It was the absolute best combination. Pro tip, 3 sandwiches are always better than 1.
Order the Smokehouse Barbecue Bacon Sandwich and our Coca-Cola on the Chick-fil-A app for a limited time. Real guests paid for their testimonial.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about. KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. The Los Angeles Regional Food Bank is on a mission to fight hunger and provide nutritious food to those in need across our community. They partner with federal, state, and local programs advocating for better policies and funding for critical hunger relief programs like Cal Fresh, the Emergency Food Assistance Program, and the Child and Adult Care Food Program. The food bank works with coalitions and local representatives to make sure hunger is addressed in every district of LA County. They also run nutrition education campaigns, raise hunger awareness, and source nutritious food for distribution, all while supporting regulations that allow food pantries to operate safely. Want to help? Visit lafoodbank.org or call 323-234-3030 to volunteer or find a food bank near you. Together, we can ensure that no one goes hungry in Los Angeles County. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
The Comedy Connection series featuring KBLA's Zoe Williams, the voice of reason, and the alpha male of comedy, Ray Grady. We're going to transform relationship disasters into stand-up material live at Inglewood's Miracle Theater on May 31st at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. My clinical team will disclose all of your dating woes, while the alpha male of comedy, Ray Grady, has hand-selected supremely talented comedians to roast all of our tragic relationship choices. I dare you to bring your ex's phone number because Ray, he's going to text it live and the crowd will be sourcing emojis. Tickets are moving swiftly, so don't hesitate to grab yours at themiracleinglewood.com before I diagnose your dating history as a pre-existing condition.
KBLA Talk 1580. Talk radio. That's music to your ears. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. You're listening to the voice of reason with Zoe Williams. Only on KBLA Talk 1580.
To school each day and wait for you to pass my way, and bells start to ring
wonder why some people give up really easily and other people can keep going strong even when it looks like they're just going to fail anyway? That's what I'm talking about today. I'm Dr. Tracy Marks, a psychiatrist, and I make mental health education videos. One reason behind giving up quickly is based on the concept of learned helplessness. Learned helplessness is a conditioned response to repeated exposures to failures, disappointments, and mistreatment, and feeling powerless to control these situations. You learn to expect pain and suffering without having any way to escape it. The kinds of stressors that create this feeling vary, but it can range from traumatic experiences in your childhood, like bullying or abusive parents. You can even learn to feel helpless from having parents who have learned helplessness. Or it can result from things like repeatedly failing tests despite studying very hard, or failing to be hired after trying over and over to impress someone enough to give you a chance. These repeated failures can teach you that you don't have the resources to change negative outcomes, so why bother trying? Why subject yourself to the disappointment? You're going to fail anyway, or you're going to be disappointed and hurt anyway. The first researchers to study this concept were Stephen Meyer and Martin Seligman in the 1970s. They observed the phenomenon in dogs. One group of dogs were harnessed and subjected to a shock in a chamber and not given a way to escape. A second group of dogs were also harnessed and put in a chamber and shocked, but they were given a way to stop the shock by pressing a button with their noses. Later on, both groups of dogs were given an easy way to escape the chamber by just stepping over a barrier into a chamber where there wasn't any shocking. The dogs in the group that could control the shocks by pressing the button easily stepped over the barrier and got out of the chamber with the shocking. The group of dogs who could not control the shocks just stayed in the chamber and didn't even try and escape. Years later, after studying humans, they revised the theory and concluded that repeated negative events don't teach us to be helpless, but instead we fail to develop a sense of control. Why does this distinction matter? Because researchers saw that learned helplessness is something that makes people more vulnerable to depression and anxiety. So one approach to unlearning helplessness is to focus on your mindset. You can learn to be hopeful and learn that bad things don't have to be permanent.
Listen, Dr. Tracy is cooking. It looks bleak. It looks hopeless. But the human spirit can conquer anything. Oftentimes, we feel like humans and animals are the same. Sure, we may show similar responses to being conditioned, but there's something about the human being that when we decide, oh, I love the way Will Smith, sometimes you just have to decide. And many times we decide in the affirmative of what we not gonna deal with regards to a partner. But we typically don't take that kind of stance of what we tolerate with regard to what we do to ourselves. Well, I know what I don't want from somebody else, but I'm going to tolerate and live with what I don't want from myself. Do you see? That's a type of cognitive dissonance. I get to abuse me because I'm me, but you don't. You got to show up loving, kind, caring. You got to bear my cross. No, you actually adopted your cross. Don't you know the cross is a sign of execution? What are you killing in you that is killing you? Huh? Who want to do this work tonight? When bearing burdens becomes emotional parasitism, right? It's a parasite. Psychological insight. Over-identification with a partner's pain activates enmeshment, eroding ego boundaries that are critical for individuation. That's Carl Jung, right? Energy vampires thrive on unprocessed trauma exchanges. Relationships become transactional, not transcendent. I've been saying for a long time that relationship is a spiritual place, not a dogmatic religious place, but a spiritual place where one discovers oneself and has the ability to ascend to moksha, nirvana, self-realization. Do you understand? I just want y'all to understand it. Levina's ethics of responsibility warns against annihilating the self to serve others. Mercy without wisdom breeds martyrdom. fMRI scans reveals chronic empathetic over-arousal correlates with prefrontal cortex depletion. That's the Nature Neuroscience in 2020. Are you in the dark night of the relationship right now because you feel like your partner let you down because they didn't help you carry the burden of the fact that you never forgave your mother for being emotionally non-attuned to you? You and your mother got a problem, but you want your partner to somehow, they can't heal that. The dark night of the relationship. Why? Your wounds are your sacred solitudes. That's where you go do the work. This is what Rumi meant when he said the wound is where the light enters. Neurotic guilt, Freud, compels partners to overcompensate for each other's unresolved shadows, delaying shadow integration. I know it's a shadow. It might be scary. You don't want to do it. You've been suppressing and repressing. Hey, I get it. But it's not your partner's job to do it. The alchemical negrido phase, right? Putrefaction of ego cannot be shared. Only individuated souls resurrect as gold. Kierkegaard, Soren Kierkegaard, fear and trembling emphasizes the solitary nature of existential trials. No proxy can endure your Abrahamic test. You understand? 72% of couples in trauma-bonded relationships report stagnation in personal growth. That's according to the APA 2022. Huh? I promise you this time, when I come forward, I want to hear from Leroy from Inglewood, one of our legends. I want to hear from Attila from Houston, Texas. I want to hear from Nikki from the SIP. I want to hear from JW from South Central Los Angeles. I want to hear everybody. Can we get it cracking?
Is it good to you? More Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams when we come forward.
Ladies and gentlemen, I cordially invite you out to the Comedy Connection series, where comedy meets connection. You're going to laugh, but you're also going to learn. The long-awaited collaboration where comedy collides with connection. It's your brother, Zoe Williams, the voice of reason, KBLA's own. I'm teaming up with my friend, the alpha male of comedy, Ray Grady. We're going to host this comedic relationship roundtable series live at Inglewood's iconic Miracle Theater. May 31st, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Don't wait around. Get your tickets now. Join top comedians Ron G. and Kevin Tate, along with clinicians Dr. P. Pacoya McCall Robinson, along with my friend Christopher Johnson, PhD. Trust me, this is something you don't want to miss. It's unique, it's funny, and it's insightful. Think therapy meets punchlines. Tickets are selling faster than a bad first date. You better grab yours now.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. Worried about eviction? You have rights, and Stay Housed LA can help. Stay Housed LA is a partnership between LA County, the City of Los Angeles, and local service providers. From Lancaster to Long Beach, we're here to help you with tenant education workshops, legal clinics, free legal services for eligible tenants, and online resources about tenant protection laws. Don't face eviction alone. Call our hotline at 1-888-694-0040. That's 1-888-694-0040. Or visit stayhousedla.org. Stay Housed LA, keeping Los Angeles residents in their homes. Stay Housed LA, your rights, your home, our community. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
The California Crusader newspaper would like to thank all of our subscribers for their support throughout the years, proudly serving the South Los Angeles and South Bay areas for more than 40 years. The California Crusader is a multicultural, black-owned, adjudicated newspaper that focuses on providing newsworthy information to the people in our community. We're constantly looking for ways to assist businesses in our community to connect with our subscribers. We provide low-cost, effective ways to promote your business with our reasonable and affordable advertising rates. You can participate by suggesting, sharing, and submitting your stories on the California Crusader newspaper Community Share Facebook group page, or visit our website at cal-cruise-news.com. That's calcruisenews.com. Then click on the Submit Now button located on the top right corner of the homepage, or text CCN to 42828. Again, text CCN to 42828. The California Crusader newspaper, working together to build a better community for our future. Subscribe today.
You know you want some more. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Before the second show, your guitar, it sounds so sweet and clear, but you're not really here. It's just the radio.
Ended up in an abusive marriage. Didn't know how to get out of it. Didn't know how, and I experienced what idolatry feels like. I know it ain't easy. I'm not gonna come on here and act like, everybody should be a G. Trust me, I know it ain't easy. I know what it's like to make somebody your everything. I know what it's like to center your whole world around another human being. I know what it's like to think that you can't survive or not live without that person. I know what it's like. That's the reason why I can look and I can understand, why it was so hard on my family to get past. I understand what it's like, because by default, if you don't make Yahweh your number one, you will have an idol. It's automatic. There is no other way. There are no alternatives. There is no medium spot. There is no neutral place. If God is not your number one, you will have an idol automatically. Even if the idol is yourself. Even if you idolize your feelings, you idolize your emotions. If you idolize your preference, you will have an idol. Why do you think we have all these people out here? They're doing what they want to do. They're out here living contrary to the word, and they're so angry with Christians because they want to do what they want to do. They want to have their idols, and they know, and they're mad at God because God won't let them have them. Most people who are angry with God, the majority of people who are angry with God, they're mad at him because he won't serve them. They're mad, they're angry with him because he won't serve them. Because they have their flesh. The flesh has to be crucified because the flesh will try to tame God, but they have not crucified their flesh. So the flesh and its lust, the flesh, one of the fruits of the flesh is idolatry. or the works of the flesh is idolatry. If whatever you feed will grow, whatever you starve will die. They will keep feeding that flesh until idolatry and witchcraft is prevalent. It begins to dominate them, and it begins to dominate their thoughts to the point where they can become consumed with what they want. I want to be in a relationship, and I want to be in a relationship right now. God said, "You a baby, go sit down and go back to bed. It ain't your time yet. I need you to seek ye first the kingdom of God. I don't care." It begins to dominate. And God said, when he blesses you, he'll add no sorrow to it. But you know what? The enemy can give you his version of.
Man, Tiffany acting a fool. She cooking. Oh gosh. I love the fire on the Voice of Reason. So many nuanced perspectives and voices, right? It's just amazing. Deepak Chopra, Krishnamurti, the sister Tiffany, like so many Pima Chodron, like Sai Baba, like we will play people from all over the spectrum. Psychiatrist Tracy, we love her. So many. Dr. Ramani, straight heat. But there's a method to the madness, right? It's about getting as many diverse opinions in front of you so you can see that underneath there is a through line that ties them all together. Irrespective of religious, philosophical, psychological, metaphysical, empirical, or clinical stance or lens. That's the purpose of bringing all these voices together. Let me bring my niece in here because this her topic. You in the dig? I love when she cooks up a topic. Let's get her in here. Attila from Houston, Texas. What are your thoughts on tonight's topic?
Listen. So that Tiffany Buckner clip, boy, listen.
Tiffany
I feel
Buckner.
like it was so, yes, she is so on point. And I say this because even if you're not a Christian, I think you can still identify with what she's talking about when she says making an idol out of your relationship, your partner, your whatever. And so with that being said, something that you just said, you said the dark night of relationship.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not pulling, what is it, pulling hairs? Is that how it goes?
No,
Whatever the
I
saying
got
is.
you. Go ahead. Give it to us. We want it.
Yeah, so I feel like there's a difference between the dark night of the relationship and the dark night of the soul. And the reason why I say that is because I look at the dark night of the relationship as a time where someone has messed up. And I guess in particular, I would think of it as me making a mistake and now having to like come correct in a sense, so to speak, right? And so I think that there's so much to be gleaned from that in terms of compassion, gratitude. Like there's so many things I think you can pull out of that. But the other side is, and then of course forgiveness. But I think the wounds that come out of your dark night of your relationship versus the dark night of your own, just you individually, your own soul, are so much more poignant because you have someone there with you to essentially help you bear you one another burdens. Now, why do I bring that up? Because I think that sometimes, at least in the Christian church, from what I've experienced growing up, is there's such an overemphasis on service, but there's not enough talk about codependency. There's not enough talk, right? Like there's not enough, and I'm not talking bad about the church, y'all. I'm just saying, there's not enough talk about when enough is enough.
Wait a minute.
And because you are...
You just cracked open a can of worms.
Okay.
See, help me understand this. I don't think the majority of people really know how to serve. And
because you have to know how to serve yourself first.
Right. So watch this. If I'm hurt and I'm serving, I'm serving for a purpose. Do you see? True service is agendaless. See, we're going to get back to unconditional love again. It's unconditional service because you are the manifestation of service. Now, the reason why that's a struggle for most people and they don't have the capacity to keep serving is because they're serving in hopes of receiving some type of service. The service that they give to their partner is a down payment for some type of supply. So go back to that earlier point the sister made when she said idols, right? You could be, the soft life can be an idol you worship. Do you see?
Well, so the entire relationship can be an idol that you worship.
Come
Hence why you're
on.
so fixed on the outcome, right?
Come
so the other
on.
side of that, right? So then the other side of that as well, though, is this kind of the structure of the church, of the way that we do Christianity in general, right? Modern day Christianity. The structure of it is that you're going to serve so that you will eventually reap those rewards in heaven. Right?
That's your down payment.
Right. So people, so you're kind of in a sense conditioned. I got to do this so that I can what? Make sure I don't go to hell. Right. I remember my mom tells me this story all the time, that I was like 5 years old. They had put me in this church that was teaching fire and brimstone. And I was up in the middle of the night reading my Bible because they told me I was going to hell if I didn't read my Bible at night, every night. And not like reading the Bible like studiously, like crying reading the Bible. So I say all that, and my mom was like, oh, no, we got to get you out of there. So I say all that to say this is why that difference between resonance and validation is so important. Whether you're in the church or not, are you resonating with the message? Are you resonating with that person, or are you sucking the life out of them for validation? What you doing?
Hey, listen, you're listening to the voice of reason. That's my niece, Attila Phillips, out of Houston, Texas. If you want to bring in your perspective, it's all good. All you got to do is call me at 1-800-920-1580. When we come forward, we going back to Houston, Texas, because I don't think this meal is fully cooked.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Amber Payton with 4 Things You Should Know with BIN News. Black Maryland Senator Angela Alsobrooks says Americans are tired after 100 days of Trump's second term. She slammed his civil